Welcome, everybody, to another live broadcast from put on by Butcher Barbecue. Tonight's going to be a little different than others. We don't have an actual product review, but we've got some of our brand ambassadors here, and we're going to use this whole evening as a Q&A. So we've got a couple here, so let me get them brought on in. Everybody, let's just go round robin here and just say hello and introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tom.
Hey, it's Tom Mead. I'm from Central New Jersey, barbecue enthusiast.
I'm Weeze's Brian from Weeze's Groove and Barbecue, catering, barbecue competitions, all kinds of different stuff. Anything and everything barbecue.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you too. We may have one more come on. Time will tell. I mean, everybody's busy and we've invited another one, but still. And I'll just be frank and honest with everyone. Why we're not doing an actual product review is I have gotten really sick in the last week. I have no taste. I have no smell. I have nothing going on. So it would do me no good to try to do a product review and tell you folks and lie to you. I can't do that. I've built my business being truthful. So, hey, I can't pour something on a plate, tap, and tell you, oh, this tastes great. No, it wouldn't taste good to me at all. So we're going to get there again. If it gets to coughing like that too much, folks, I'll take myself off air and these guys can handle it. But questions and everything, y'all just jump right in. We're here to ask and talk about everything. And I've got one right off the bat. It's fairly new in the barbecue season. I mean, it's just now trying to even become spring in some parts of the country. Do you guys have any great big new adventures planned? Are you building a new kitchen, a new outdoor pergola? Wanting to get a new cooker? Just anything? Got any big plans for the year for cooking, grilling?
Yeah, well, I'll start. No, no. And I'll tell you why, David. I have 7 grills, right? I I think I would have a hard time explaining to my wife why I'm buying the eighth. I've been thinking about a couple of things, but I love the green egg. I love the green mountain. I firmly stand behind those two brands, and I have a flat top, which are my go-to. That green egg, I think I use probably 4 or 5 times a week, and it pretty much does anything I want. Low and slow, like tomorrow, I'm going to do a pork butt. That'll go on the Green Mountain because that's going to be out there for 5 6 hours. So, I don't have to set it and forget it. I mean, it's the easy bake oven. Yeah, but no, not really. What I do this time of year is I clean. I really get as soon as the weather breaks, I'll literally start with the backyard area. Once I get that all cleaned up and all the branches and stuff, I'll actually get in the pits and scrub them down and burn off all the old creosote and all that stuff. So I get them clean and I get them ready for the season. That's my plans.
Well, cool. Hey, that's a pretty good set of plans right there. What about you?
Well, I mean, I just got on the Hasty Bake Pro team, so I just got my Roughnecks a couple weeks ago. I did a burn-in on them, and then we did some wings. I just did. I don't know if you saw. I did a brisket for a buddy of mine, and used some of the Texas bark on the top of it. This guy was from Texas, so when he got to see it, he told me it looks like one of them briskets that comes from Snows down there where he used to go all the time.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
wow.
But I did my burn-ins with that. I've been running some of those. I just got back from smoking on the shore down in Nashville. Start prepping for next weekend. I leave for Iowa to go cook at I think right now there's 45 backyard teams up there and 40 pro teams cooking in Altoona. So, I mean, barbecue doesn't really stop for me around here. I mean, even, now I'm doing a lot more catering now. So April, I don't have any, competitions because it's all filled with catering. So obviously, it's at this point in my career, it's hard because I love to compete. But then when the catering comes along and I get guaranteed money, it's one of
hard to
those
say
where
no.
like,
Yeah.
you got to go with the guarantee money most of the time, so.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We got a few folks jumping in, but what we're doing is just kind of a Q&A. I've been under the weather, so I know we couldn't taste properly. So let's just see. Sugba, good evening, sir. Yeah, good evening. How you doing? Welcome to the show this evening. Glad you joined in over here on.
Mr. Shugba.
Yes, Grant. Good evening, Grant. And Grant is there. Okay, he just brought it up. I thought I was asking y'all what y'all have done. He has sent me some pictures. He's building a kitchen, an outdoor kitchen that is going to be inspected, so he can use it as his establishment for cooking for his food trailer.
Oh, wow.
It's going to go under inspection, and that's what he's going to do. He's well, if I'm not mistaken, he told me he's a couple weeks out of being finalized with it. So he's got a full on food kitchen going on at his place right now.
That's awesome, Grant. I wish you best of luck on that.
Grant's the kind of guy that doesn't know how to slow down or stop. Okay, I knew Grant. We first met. Oh my gosh, half a dozen years ago. I honestly don't remember. He was living here in Oklahoma at the time and got into doing competition cooking, and now he's living way up in Boonville. He is, if I'm not mistaken, it's West Virginia. I think that's home, actually home. That's where he's came from, and he just can't stop. He's done a food trailer here. Now he's doing one up there, and just growing and going. And his hardest thing he has told me over the year is finding good food. He said it's amazing that quadrant of the country has horrible food.
Wow.
Do y'all find that where you're at?
Well, yes and no, right? So I live in a weird area. I live on the Jersey Shore down the Tom's River. So if you know how like New Jersey goes to a big hourglass, when it comes down the hourglass, I'm kind of down the hourglass on the Atlantic side, but there's like a cut. That's the Tom's River. I live down there. So for me to go from my house to the main highway, which is the Garden State Parkway, it's 20, 30 minutes just to get to the highway. So where I live, no, there's no good food. But for me to go someplace where there is good food, we have really good towns down here. Like Asbury Park is a boom town, and everybody knows Asbury from Springsteen days. And there's surrounding areas. Yeah, there's great food there, but it's like an hour and a half down the road. And especially the summer, you're not going there. It's just bumper to bumper traffic.
So where are you from? East Brunswick?
East Brunswick. I grew up just north of there. So
I used to work there for about 3 months.
No kidding. Wow, what a small world. Right off of Route 1 there, over that way?
That's right. I'm not exaggerating. It was 25, 28 years ago. I opened up a Sam's Club there.
Sam's Club in East
I
Brunswick.
don't think it's there anymore, but I opened up a Sam's Club in East Brunswick, and it took like 3 years to open. They didn't get permits to tear down a building, so they had to go in and cut all the piers and raise the roof just a little at a time. And we didn't, in all the steel that you have in those Sam's Club, we couldn't even use the top steel because they didn't raise it high enough.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you
so
talk about,
from there to my house is a little over an hour.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. A little over an hour.
I remember pulling in town, and the general manager that was over that told me you go up to, and it was an intersection, I remember, and you take this jug handle and go left. And I'm like, what? I'm driving. I'm like, what's jug handle? What are you talking about?
We don't do highway turns. We have jug handles.
Yeah, there's no left
real thing.
Right.
Yeah,
you got to go into the right-hand lane, go cross traffic to turn and come back at what you needed to do.
Yeah, you can't do a left hand, especially on a highway. You got to do the jug handle.
Yeah.
So my day job, I travel all over the place, and everywhere but New Jersey, you make a left, right? And it freaks me out. It just I have a very difficult time for that when I'm driving around. Yeah, what a small world.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's
Yeah,
just
but Grant, I'm with you. We don't have good food local, and it has become so expensive to just to go out. It's just so expensive, and it's a sin. I don't mind spending the money if it's good. And my wife and I, we used to go out all the time, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, right? And things weren't as expensive or as financially as impactful as they are today. And it was fun. But to go out and spend, what I was spending 50, $60 pre-pandemic, down here you're spending well over 100, 150-ish to get the same meal. And it's just the quality isn't there.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say, fortunately, I live just north of Chicago, so we pretty much, you know, we got a lot of great food around here. But I would also, agree with you that, the price of everything now, you go somewhere where you used to be able to get a couple hot dogs and French fries for $6 or $7. I mean, it's $15 or $16 now,
Yeah.
and that's, I started cooking barbecue about 4.5 years ago. And that was kind of what prompted me to do that at, the age of 38 or whatever, 39 is, we used to go out for steaks, and it just, I'd go out and spend $90 for two steaks. And I was just like, I can't cook, but I feel like if I tried, I could do better than this and save the money,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where it is now. You're right. I mean, you go anywhere just to, you get a couple bagels from a place around here, and it's, $12 for, two or three bagels, with cream cheese, where before you could go and get, a dozen or whatever it is, and for $7, $8, down in Chicago. So I mean, but I agree with you. I mean, there's a lot of great food around here, but we're very picky about when we go and do it because it's just so expensive.
Well, with Easter coming up for you guys, have y'all thought about? I haven't until today. I got to thinking about it. What I might be trying to do for Easter. Um, any thoughts? I will probably. I don't know. I'll probably smoke a ham on the good old traditional ham for us. I don't know if I'll try and doll it up. I've got some new stuff that I'm playing with, but I don't know if I'll try and doll it up and see what the family thinks of the flavors. But y'all got anything cool and interesting side dishes or the main food or whatever?
Well, yeah. So I'm the guy that sits on the beach at 4th of July with the family, big Italian family. Says who's coming for Christmas dinner, and I'll start planning then, right?
Okay.
So I have in the freezer, I have a turkey. I picked up a smoked ham, which I'll double smoke, and I bought a rack of lamb for appetizer. So that's what I'm cooking. I'll just make a bunch of sides. My sister will make, the Italian antipasto, and we'll do a couple of vegetables and a couple of potatoes. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be cooking anything for Easter. I won't be back from Iowa till probably 10:30 on Saturday night. So I know we have an Easter egg hunt set up for the kids, but that's probably about it. I mean, we might get a pizza or do something like that, but I usually don't cook the day after I get back from a comp. And I'll have leftovers, but I don't feel like eating my leftovers, so I end up giving them to the neighbors. So
Yeah. Easter egg hunt. Just off topic, but I think it's cool. Our kids always do prize eggs or something like that. And a while back, I don't remember what it was I cooked. It was somebody, and I actually opened up one of the plastic eggs and I threw some pulled pork in it, and had them hide it. And I remember Dawson, one of the grandsons, he got it. He just thought he had some because it was heavy. Dude, he opened that up and he just looked at me. He knew who did it. He knew immediately.
Grandpa, yeah. When you do your ham, do you pull the ham out of the box and debone it and tie it and cure it? Do you do the whole thing, or do you just do a smoked ham from scratch?
No, I won't do one from scratch. We'll buy a pardon me, a pre-cured ham, and I'll put it on the smoker and start basting it probably hour and a half before it's finished, and really start trying to drive in some good glaze on it.
Yeah.
Um, I'll throw a bunch of rub on it and let that soak in overnight. Um,
Yeah.
no sense in injecting a pre-cooked ham; it's not going to do anything.
No, I'm not going to inject it. I'm going to load mine up with your maple rub, which is my go-to,
Yep.
especially for smoked pork. I mean, I think there's something magical that happens when you have the right amount of sweet and that maple flavor to pork. It's an amazing combination. And I
Yeah.
love that. And like you said, about an hour, hour and a half, I'm going to do a pineapple glaze to it just
Yep.
after.
Yeah.
So get that sweetness to it. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a honey style glaze on this one just because I know the kids like it. I'll keep the heat completely away from that.
Oh
And I
yeah.
forget till you said it about having a turkey there. We do have one in the freezer. We might thaw that out and get it going. I have not thought of that, but that could be
Yeah, and then I'll send everybody home with leftovers. You know, they'll have my 2 kids. My daughter's so busy these days, and my son, he lives in Philadelphia, so he's happy to take turkey home. So, and
yeah.
everybody do some carry out.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I like to use the honey and pecan on pork, and whether it's ribs. I mean, competition ribs, competition pork, home at home, even the ham. I really like the pecan and the honey in there a lot. So, and I like the maple rub. I'll put that sometimes in pancakes or in pancake mix or something like that to add some of that flavor to breakfast. So
Yeah.
I like adding it to my actual pork sausage.
yeah.
Oh, boy, just dawned. See, look at this. Y'all give me some credit. Well, I need to get a couple. Here in Oklahoma, there's a local company called Blue and Gold Sausage, and
Yeah.
it's only sold through fundraisers, the FFAs, the 4-H, the different girls clubs and stuff. And they come in 3-pound rolls like this, and everybody uses them for their smoked fatties because they truly are pretty fatty. It's pretty greasy sausage. It's not a store bought Jimmy Dean where you're gonna sizzle in the pan. When it gets to cooking, the grease is going to fill up. And it could deep fry. Okay, uh, so it makes a perfect smoked fatty because it's so moist a
Yeah.
week later when you're just using it. So I need to thaw out a couple of them while I'm going at it too.
You do that, put it in your stuffing, make like an old school bread stuffing and mix the sausage in there as a binder.
We use it for like a week and a half. Yeah, I'll slice it, put it in Ziplocs, and we'll do it in omelets, quiches. We make a lot of easy, simple foods at night since it's just Wilma and I. But we we've got a lot of chickens, and we're getting anywhere from 15 to 20 eggs a day. So we use a lot of eggs when we're cooking. Pardon
Wow.
me. Let's see what a few of these folks got to say over here. Listening to us talk about Easter. I hear the food is outstanding in the Redfoot Jonesboro area of Illinois. I think Sigma is throwing some mud somewhere.
Uh,
Grant, 89th anniversary for Easter. Okay, that's what Grant's cooking. Yep. Well, I missed this comment from Grant. I didn't see it earlier. Local food distributors offering very low quality meat compared to what he was getting here in Oklahoma. That's
Yeah.
what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you now with when I started my catering business, I won't name any names, but I looked into a couple food distributors, and they were bragging about their high end brisket,
Yes.
and most of my stuff. I mean, David, you've probably heard of Wichita Packing up here. That's where I
Yes.
get a lot of my stuff. Well, obviously when I'm doing catering, you're trying to they'll deliver to me, so I don't have to drive to Chicago to get it. So they were trying to get me to cook one of their high end briskets, and I was like, well, I'm not going to buy a case. You can drop one off, and I'll cook it and try it. So I invited all my buddies over, to that have had my food, cooked one of their briskets, did the same way that I cook. Usually I run double R ranch briskets that come from Snake River Farms, and they're just prime, but they're not not Wagyu, just prime. And I cooked this said brisket the same way I cooked those. Didn't say nothing, sliced it, let everybody try it, and went around the room and asked everybody, and everybody said that they said it was dry. And I said, well, what do you mean is the texture? I said, because it's not dry. And they said, yeah, the texture is tough on it. So like I have found that with catering that I've, where you try to save money, by going to some of this meat stuff. It just, I mean, when you get to pork, you get a pork butt, and you're catering a pork butt to me is usually a pork butt. It's not.
I'm with you.
Yeah, but I mean, you start getting into tri-tips and briskets and things like that. There is a huge difference of the quality of a lot of that stuff is. So yeah, a lot of the local distributors around here, I know, are using these briskets, and that's where I tell people that when you go to restaurant here and get brisket, there's a reason why you don't like it, because it's very low quality. It's not very high quality, and then they don't put a lot of effort into it as well when they're cooking it. You know what I mean? When they got to, when you got to serve 1,500 people a day, it's hard to really, cook brisket. Up here, this ain't, up here is not Texas. We got a few places, but most places up here, they have brisket all day. And that, like, it's like, well, when you sell out, you should sell out. You shouldn't just cook it and hold it for, I don't own a restaurant, so I don't know. I may be talking, but I'm just saying that's kind of the difference of what I found of buying,
Well, the
from a good source.
The business aspect is that if you're open for 12 hours, you need to have 12 hours of menu.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's hard to pay a $20,000 rent when you're telling your customers, I'm only going to have food for 4 hours.
Yep.
Unless you're Franklin Barbecue.
Yeah. We do that at our restaurant, but it's rough.
Yeah. I've been to Terry Black's in Austin, and he serves all day, but he's, I don't know, got 3 or 4 these huge, enormous stick burners, and they're churning inventory all day. He's got 5 briskets coming off constantly.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way you could do it. Otherwise, I almost never make brisket, because for that exact reason, the quality of the briskets we seem to get, and I go to a good butcher and his meat's good, but when it comes to brisket, it's not that it's dry, but it's like dry, and I don't know how to overcome that.
Yeah. No. The only thing I could say for serving for like an Easter meal would be to slice it and serve it out of an au jus.
Yep.
And just, I hate to say it, it does take the flavor down a little bit, but that's the only way to serve it for over time. Yeah.
Yep.
It's good and it's not expensive is chuck roast. You do a chuck roast like you do a brisket.
Yep.
Especially if you're doing like a family gathering in the backyard or you're serving over time. That just keeps remarkably well. And I never get a complaint about it. People love it. So even if you set that in an au jus or, some carrots and onions in there, it really is it's a good crowd pleaser.
Where I was going to go with that was also, you can actually change the flavor of your brisket, intensify or unintensify it by the type of au jus that you're going to throw in it. Actually puts a heavy dose of Italian seasoning in it.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about change it and make it great for what's that they call the roast beef sandwiches with a
up here in Chicago, the Italian beef
sandwiches.
Yeah.
And it's just a great smoked brisket. Just slice it thin, throw it in the au jus with that Italian seasoning. And Bud, it changes everything, and you can actually make a plate dinner with it instead of just having the sandwiches if you're doing it like on a dinner. But there's a lot of things you can do with the brisket if you want to spend $130 on a brisket right now.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Kevin here, he says Easter is the perfect time to try new recipes. Your family will tell you the truth if it's not good or not. Well, that's true, especially if you get the right in-laws there. Yeah. Yeah, blue and gold. I knew he would remember that stuff. Exactly. Yeah, Kevin, blue. Okay. Kevin, where are you from? I don't know if I've recognized your logo there.
It says Okie Smoked Barbecue, so I'm assuming he's not there.
And I kind of half recognize that part. Pardon me, folks. But yeah, tell us where you're from. I'm interested. Very, very interested. Always enjoy seeing new people on the chat. Grant, we use the au jus mixed with barbecue mud. Yeah, that would really take a nice richness of it up, change it from being a smoked brisket to more of a. Yeah, I can absolutely see that.
Yep.
Congrats on your kitchen, Grant. My wife and I are building a small burger joint and are almost at the inspection plan. Oh, great, Kevin.
Awesome.
There's a little bit about you. Tell us where you're building it. And heck, we'll be happy to throw this out real quick because I got a friend that runs a burger truck in the Oklahoma City area, and he's been killing it lately. So yeah, let us know where you're building at. And
Yep. And talking about restaurants, up here, I live about 45 miles north and west of Chicago. I'm new. This is the first year that I finally went out the end of last year and got a food license and a commercial kitchen and all that other stuff. And I tell you, man, the pop-ups and things, I don't have a food truck. Like I said, I just do, either set up inside a lot of these breweries and stuff around here. But the food trucks and everything around here are just killing it. I mean, restaurants are struggling, but these food trucks, guys like me that are doing things around here, people are willing to spend the money. But like you were saying, Tom, it's got to be the quality.
Right.
If you go somewhere, they want quality. Like I did a pop-up event for a brewery out of Chicago called Revolution, which are known for all their barrel-aged stouts and barley wines and very high-end stuff. And I did a pulled pork sandwich with a smoked queso and a onion bacon jam on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a jalapeno cheddar Texas sausage with some jardiniere, which jardiniere is up here in Chicago, it's huge for Italian beef sandwiches and stuff like that.
Right.
And it sounds like that's not on my menu. That's just, things like with what I'm doing in a food truck, or like, your guy, David Burgers, you can kind of come up with a menu on a fly. You're not set to a menu where, if you talk to people that have a restaurant, like you, David, if you started changing all kinds of stuff on your menu, your customers probably won't like that. But as a pop-up or a food truck, you always have a different clientele depending where you're moving and what you're doing. So it's kind of nice because you can be creative and throw different things and do different things. And you know what I mean? I feel like it's a little more freedom than if you have a restaurant, you can't really, change a lot of stuff, without people getting mad.
Absolutely. All right. We're trying to get our fourth guy in. It's getting close. There.
Hey.
Yes. What do you say, Glenn?
What's up, boys?
What's up, bud?
Everybody, this Glenn Drake, he's another one of our brand ambassadors. We're talking Easter, what you might cook for Easter. We went the gamut of what we're going to do for the summertime. We appreciate you joining in. Everybody want to say thanks. Bye, everybody. No.
Happy to be a part of it. See you guys later.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm good to see you, buddy.
Questions. Glenn, tell everyone real quick. You got any big plans for the summer? Any grilling plans, pergolas? What are you building anything or got any plans? Do you want to buy something?
Well, kind of funny you asked that.
Okay, just to let you know, it's just me and you. The wife is not listening.
No, so my wife and I we bought a new house and a lot more property than we're used to, and kind of a funny thing. I just want a fire pit with like a grill on top, like a grill a platform that I could just grill over, open flame, throw on the shrimps and the chicken and all that kind of stuff in a nice fire pit atmosphere. That to me it is huge.
Go to your local state lake resort. They put them on pedestals. Just cut that thing off and take it home. Maybe you may not want something that small, but I mean,
yeah, I have like 6 different outdoor grilling apparatuses, and I can only sneak in one more, I think. And I think the fire pit with the adjustable height grill thing.
Are you thinking Santa Maria, Glenn? Like a Santa Maria?
Yeah, basically. I have a really close friend whose wife is from Uruguay, and they have like a really cool Uruguay kind of grill. And I'm not doing quite what he did, but just kind of just something where I could adjust the heat up and down, and very simple, very like, the idea is we'll have be able to, I have young kids, be able to have tent outside and sleep outside and have that kind of fire pit, campfire, and just be able to adjust that height. Yeah, that's the only thing I really got going on for the summer. That to me, with the kids, nothing's better.
That reminds me, when I was a kid, my dad was a bricklayer. That was our family deal. Grandpa was, great grandpa was. It's bricklaying, and I remember out back of the house, it was, gosh, it looked giant. Okay, bigger than a big office desk, but it wasn't as a kid really. I bet it wasn't 30 inches on one side, maybe 35, and it literally, if you took brick and Dad hogged it in, but then bricked it around the outside about waist high, and then it come across, cut down, went across, come back up, and it had the same shelf on the other side. Well, he just put studs on the inside, and he just put expanded metal on it. Well, that was adjusting temperature back in the 70s. You want it down low or you want it up high. You pick your stud, and that's
cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And Dad then bricked a true offset cinder block smoker. If I'd only realized what he did back then compared to what I'm doing now, it's amazing. We just lived on the farm. I mean, I'm 6 miles from where I was raised.
Yeah, about the same for me.
Yeah, and so we had the particular spot I'm thinking of was our 50-acre spot, and he built a little offset, and it was out of the thin cinder blocks. I don't remember what it was, but Dad had a knack. It's about the angle of when you're building a fireplace. It's something about the angle of the pitch in the back of it. That's what allows it to draft and pull the smoke up.
Huh.
I'm now outside of that, I don't know anything about a fireplace. Okay. But he built this little cinder block smokehouse, and that thing, he could build a small little fire, and it just seemed like it ran forever. I don't know what he did in the channeling, the tunneling, but it was offset probably 4 foot from where the upriser was, where the food went. But dude, he had that thing so perfect. It was crazy. Yeah.
That's cool.
I know it's been torn down, but I wished I'd realized what he did back then, and I could have watched him building that to understand a little bit of it. But yeah,
Tom, it looks like you're stuck in like a children's nursery.
Yeah, this is my office, but I share with when the grandkids come, they have a crib behind. So the house it's a good sized house, but those like random stuff got to get tucked away somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. My friend John, he's huge into barbecue and grilling. He won a very significant amount of money on a box from a Super Bowl a few years back. So much so that he had to fly down. He lives in Long Island, flew down to Florida, picked up the cash, and because you can't fly with that much cash, had to drive it back in a rental car. And I'll show you guys what he built with this thing. Holy cow! This whole outdoor bar. Oh man, it's unbelievable. And like I said, his wife is from Uruguay, and they built this brick contraption, and they're able to, like, there's like a wheel, to like adjust the height of it all, and it's the coolest thing on the planet. Every time we go there, it gets really ugly.
I love the Santa Marias. Every time I see them or they scroll across on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, absolutely love them. But here, that's why your buddies from Long Island, you were saying, we get such harsh weather. Like this week, our wind's been 30, 40 miles an hour. I would
We've
have
had
never
some
been
wind up
able to
here
cook
too.
on it. So I don't know how realistic it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for Easter, I'm going to Vermont to the Vermont property. Nobody likes lamb. I'm going to make it for myself. You know, it's hard to please everybody. And my wife's family is very particular. They're just very simple. Like I can make ribs, I guess, and they'll like them at some point. But
That's my family. We are too.
like, do you guys know what my hobby is? Like, this is what I do, and they don't care.
Yeah.
Right. I'm in
But
the same boat as you.
My whole family's the simple family. So
With that being
it
said,
doesn't
though,
be good to make this big extravagant anything because I hate to say it, I don't think that they would appreciate that. About 5 years ago, I smoked 2 prime ribs for our daughter. We took everything over there, and they wanted Matt to fire up the grill and just grill it off. It was too red. It was just, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or if they reach for the ketchup bottle, I just scream.
I am in Oklahoma. I own it. We know that. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's see what Kevin answered. Okmulgee, we were talking about his burger joint where he's opened up. And I do remember talking to you now about the design of the smoker there. And that's probably why I remembered the logo, but couldn't remember where you was at. Kevin, thanks for nudging my old man memory. Yeah, Grant.
The other gentleman on the call here, I don't think I've met you before.
Where are we at? Who you speaking with? Tom?
No, Tom I've met.
Brian.
Brian. Okay.
Brian. Yeah.
Hi, Brian.
How you doing, man?
You've seen him on the brand ambassador page.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Brian. Yes. Let's see.
Yeah, I live up north of Chicago.
Chi-town.
Yeah.
Good hot dogs.
Yeah.
As I was telling Tom, I had opened up a Sam's Club there, hour and a half, 2 hours from where he's at. And I never opened up one in Chicago. I had a friend that was the regional meat merchandiser there in Chicago. And he had told me one time that in one of the Chicago clubs, you had to show your card just to get into the parking lot. It was such a bad area that you had to show a membership card to get into the parking lot. And then you were not allowed as they call them associates, to put stuff outside the club to take trash out, do all that stuff. They said, dude, you might get cut with a knife. And I hate to say this, it stereotyped me for the Chicago area.
Well, I'm pretty sure that there's no Walmarts or Sam's Club within the Chicago city limits. It's all the suburbs.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm a truck driver. I've been driving for 24 years now. And I used to work for Coca-Cola. In the last 22 years, I've worked for Schneider. And I used to deliver to a lot of these Sam's Clubs and Costco's and stuff like that. I mean, so I'd be going in there at 1 or 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And, I got lucky. I never really had any issues, but and now I go to the rail yards, which you talk about the rail yards. I mean, anywhere you go, the rail yards are never in a great part of town because that's,
it's the oldest part.
Yeah, it's the oldest part, and that's how it is. But there's
sorry, I stereotype Chicago, but I just remembered that whenever
How far north of Chicago are you?
I live in a town called Grayslake, Illinois. It's up by Great America. That's what a lot of people know. I live about 15 minutes south of the Wisconsin border.
I'm trying to pinpoint. I have an office in. It used to be Des Plaines. We do a lot of trucking out of there.
Okay, yeah, Des Plaines is about 25 minutes south of me.
Oh, well, if you're ever looking to make a move,
Well,
we,
There you go.
Who would have thought this would have been a live interview?
Live job interview,
we
right?
literally just got a huge contract with Meyer, grocery.
yeah,
Anyway.
it would take a lot for me to leave where I'm at, just because
Good
I've been
for
there
you.
for 22 years with all the
Good for
benefits.
you.
The
Say no more.
the best thing about it is that my bosses up in Green Bay, where I go probably a couple times a week, they buy barbecue from me. So like if I need time off for barbecue, if I need time off, and I don't even need to take vacation. I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna take like 4-day weekend and go cook barbecue. All right, sounds good. So it's kind of and I'm on a 4-day work week now because of the barbecue and the catering and the traveling and stuff like that. So it's kind of whenever obviously with trucking now, there's a lot of volatility and pay and all this stuff. And I've had people like, man, there's better places. I'm like, I've been here long enough now that it's too much to lose. And then, like I said, it's nice to be able to, when you talk to other competition guys who get in on Friday night and I get there Thursday morning, and it's like, well, I got the time off, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Say no more.
All right.
Good for
Let's
you.
get into these comments. I think we got a few stacked in here. Grant, in April, we'll be participating in the West Virginia Food Truck Festival again. We're fortunate last year and was named grand champion of the event organized. Oh, well, congratulations, Grant. I remember you telling me that, but I wouldn't have realized that you won the People's Choice and all. Well, good. Maybe your kitchen.
Does Grant live in West Virginia?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Yeah, because I got a lot of family that live down by Williamson, West Virginia. That's where my family's from.
Where's that at again?
Williamson, West Virginia.
Grant, you know where Williamson is, man. That sounds like they know good barbecue down there. You better at least get down there and try and sell them something.
Yeah.
What's your choice of wood to cook briskets and pork? He is now using hickory and cherry. What about you guys? Let's go around the room.
Oak.
For both.
Brisket, oak. Anything beef is going to be oak for me. Pork, I'll I don't know, whatever. Cherry was a huge hit a couple summers ago. I like to mix in hickory a lot, though. To give that a little extra.
I'm a pellet guy, so I pass.
Well, what flavor pellets do you use?
Manchester. I've tried them all. I've tried them all. Green Mountain.
That brand
Tried them all.
way down here now. But what flavor of the Manchester?
Yeah, what flavor?
Geez, I don't know.
Okay.
I have a choice of, because I get them from Home Depot, and nobody around here stocks them, and they I have a choice of one, whatever it is, and I honestly believe that and I'm not here to sell Manchester pellets, or I get no endorsement from them. This is purely Tom's opinion. I think that is truly the game changer in my flavor profile of my smoked meats.
Cool.
Okay, David.
On the live feed over here, the Steve Ray with the Owl's Nest, who's usually over there a lot, listening to us.
Yeah.
He just started carrying Manchesters, and I have heard 2 or 3 of his guys talk about the quality of those pellets also.
It's unbelievable. It makes a huge difference. I did a pork butt, big pork butt for the family. And a lot of times I'll freeze it, it gets wasted or this and that. I think by the time that pork butt was done, and then the only difference, I used, the Butcher Barbecue. I used no difference whatsoever. And I get my pork is pork is pork. I get it from Costco. It's nothing. I don't go out of my way.
Yeah.
It's just that extra zhuzh of the Manchester. It went 100%. Like it just went. I've never seen a pork butt go that fast in the house.
Well, color me intrigued because I have a pellet also. I'm going to look that up. Manchester.
Yeah, you won't. First of all, it's a great company. They support my channel on Instagram. They repost my stuff. They're just out of the kindness of their heart. If I show their logo or something, they'll do so. But it's not because of that. It's because I really believe it.
I'm going to cover the screen real quick with a picture. half a dozen shows back, I talked about the pellets that I use, and I could not remember the brand or anything particular, but I did impose this onto this, and I haven't shown it yet, but this is the pellets that I've been using in competitions, and we've been using in the restaurant. Fast Eddie, Eddie Martin, that's the ones that he makes, and I just wanted to show that to everybody.
Here you go.
I'm ordering it now.
There you go.
Oh, you won't, and it's free shipping if you get it from Home Depot. I don't even have to go to the store and pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I guess for me, I run oak for, anything, beef, and I got a bunch of used barrel staves that I cut up and kind of throw in there if you want some of that. And then pecan, if I run any wood at competitions, will usually be a pecan. And then I love cherry. I just had a buddy of mine came across, I don't know, they have 200 boxes of cherry wood chunks that was shipped to him from someone he does business with. So I just literally went over there last night, and I think I got 50 boxes at 8 pounds a piece of cherry wood. So I guess from here on out, so like from here on out, when I'm doing any kind of pork or like that, it's I like the smell of cherry. I think it gives a nice sweet flavor to it. I like hickory too, but yeah, I mean, I would say cherry is a lot for that, but pecan for if I'm doing a turkey or a ham or something, I kind of like a pecan with that. But if I do chicken, I don't put any smoke on chicken because I think it's that's where I'll run pellets. I'll throw pellets down in my fire, to give a little bit of a smoke flavor, because with, poultry picking up, like this weekend at the competition I was at, I decided to cook the turkey smoke at the last minute. And I had never cooked turkey loins. I went to Walmart, got turkey loins, cooked it the same way I do a turkey breast, took it out. As soon as I've been into it, I knew I was going to be screwed because they're going to say it's too smoky, because the loin obviously is thinner than cutting, getting to the middle of a turkey breast when you're doing slices. So like I learned this week, and there was literally no wood. It was Royal Oak charcoal that was in there. It's the same stuff I ran for, chicken and ribs, but with those loins just being so small, they just sucked up all that, all that off there.
Turkey will do that. I won't smoke for Thanksgiving the turkey, or even grill it or spatchcock it. The family won't like it. I have to do it in the oven.
I like the turkey, the big turkey legs. The giant ones, like you'll see it like Disney.
The cured ones.
Yeah, exactly. With that Prague salt #2 or something like that. Those I think accept hickory really well. I won't do anything too sweet, not too much, and those have always been a hit. And I'll it's one of those things when we have like a family barbecue or whatever have you, just that kind of medieval, like and just people are gnawing on these, like my sister-in-law who's like very uptight and whatever, and you just see her in her like summer dress, like yes, killer
volumes.
Yeah. Well, cool. All right, let's see what this one is. B. Hilliard, he likes the Santa Maria style grill. Hopefully in the future. Yeah. Who was it? Was it you, Brian, that was talking about that?
Me.
That was you. Okay.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. Grant, he's halfway between Charleston and Huntington. Small town. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I go over to Huntington, US 52. If you jump on US 52 in Huntington, you can run that about an hour and 10 minutes. You get to my grandparents' house. So
goes out, Grant. Run over there.
Yeah.
B. Hilliard, need to try some of those Manchester pellets from Steve's store. Yeah, I knew he had gotten them in, and from what I'm understanding, he's so happy with them. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kevin, again, let's see. I've designed an offset stick burner that works like a pellet grill. No dirty smoke because it controls heat, not airflow. Interesting.
Love to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah, love to see
love
pictures.
to see that. Yeah, find out how it controls heat, not airflow. So it's a full open damper. We're gonna guess on this before he might spill the beans. I don't know his thoughts, but um, I would guess that it's a full open damper on both ends, and he is controlling the heat with an induction air somehow, and that's what's continuously making it burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Good deal. I love to see people innovative like that. Yeah. Well, good.
Now, have you guys ever tried mixing in any of the Royal Oak charcoal pellets?
Okay, I've used different brands of charcoal pellets. Um, okay, I got nothing out of them. It's you've burnt a part of the BTUs out already. The smoke part's gone. That's why with lump or not lump, but with charcoal, you don't get any smoke.
Yep.
It's not like it's lump. They've already burnt it to a crisp, and when they run it through the pellet mill, that's what's happening. Then I did try the Royal Oak. Okay, there was no flavor to them. I didn't get anything out of them.
And I never tried them for that exact reason. I'm throwing charcoal in either the Weber kettle or the green egg to get the charcoal, right?
Yeah.
But in a pellet, I want the smoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had tried them, and I
don't own a pellet. I don't own a pellet grill, so the only pellet grill I've ever cooked on is Smoking Brothers when I do demos out at the barbecue shop, and I use whatever pellets they supply out there. So
yeah, and that's Smoking Brothers little pellet grill. Now that's a nice little grill.
yeah, that thing. I mean, it's made like a tank. I mean, it's the auger on that thing will grind up anything. I mean, obviously, Myron Mixon put his name on it. That's who's making his stuff now with Smoking Brothers. So
Yes, yep, made in Missouri. Yeah,
Chaffee, Missouri. Yep.
Yep.
And you guys ever do it a whole hog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Filmed one night.
I helped, but I didn't really do it.
Steve did one last summer, and he put it on Facebook. Steve is very documented when he does stuff, and he packed the loin with sausage. Boy, did that look good! That might be a summer barbecue item for me. Get like a little suckling pig, like a 30-pounder.
Like a rotisserie thing, or in the ground.
I would do it on the pellet. I think,
Yeah, I mean, I've done
suckling. Yeah, okay.
I've
like 30-pounder.
I've used the La Cucina box. I have 2 of those.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
So that's that. We had talked about that before, David. I ran. I have the boxes that you can put up to 70 pounds in there, but I had like a 68-pound, and what I found is that the shoulders get too close to the fire, and it just burns the crap out of them. So to me, I feel like a 60-pounder is about the right height to kind of keep it down far enough away from the coals that it doesn't char it. But I've looked at getting something smaller and doing it. I saw someone did they hung a pig or something in a Weber Smoky Mountain or something like that. I've seen someone do something like that.
That would have to be a small suckling because that's
Yeah, it's not a lot of room in there, and I've seen some people doing some weird stuff like that, and I was like, I'd try it, but I don't want to pay for it.
There's a local meat plant just north of me here that I've known forever. When I had
David, next time you want to get a round table like this, we should dive more into I'm very fascinated by the pop-ups and the catering, and some of our guests here are chiming in on what they're doing and their projects. Just topic of next conversation. I love to hear what people are doing, and just I'm thinking of retiring this year, and I'm kind of thinking of my plan B. So I'm selfishly asking, but I'm very fascinated by it all.
That's interesting. We'll have to do a retirement party and give Tom some ideas.
There you go. There you go. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's up here in my area. I mean, it's especially where you're at, Tom, where there's not a lot of stuff. Like up here, I'm taking some of my comp style of barbecue and adding it to no, you know what, normal, I guess you would say normal barbecue, but I'm adding some of the flavors, some of the different things I'm doing. Like I did a taco event, and I took pulled pork and I mixed in some of the butcher's pork injection with hot sauce and orange juice, and I made carnitas out of it.
Oh
And
wow.
and people were like, the flavor is so much different because you're not just cutting in chunks and soaking it. You're actually injecting it. Which, like I said, when you're doing an event for 300 or 400 people, you can do that. If you're trying to serve 20,000 people, you can't inject all that stuff. But that's kind of where I like the idea of the pop-ups or like a smaller food truck, because it could be a more intimate setting. It's
Yeah.
more, you can focus more on quality food instead of quantity of food.
Yeah.
And I've found up here that people are willing to pay. Like I've done like a couple private pig events at people's houses and cooked for people,
That's
and
awesome.
people are willing to pay for that because you make them part of that process, and part of the when I open the La Cucina box up to flip the pig over to score the skins to make the chicharrones, bring someone in with you, and hey, help me flip this pig over, and this is what we're doing, and throw the salt on it. When people feel like their product's part of the process.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's definitely,
That's
I
really
looked at
cool,
a
man.
food truck, and when I started doing this stuff, I'm like, I might focus on this, because a lot of people have food trucks, but a lot of people aren't. Hey, hire me to come to your house and cook for 30 people, and you can watch every process, every step of what I'm kind of doing.
See, I like the catering, especially to start with, because it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know, or the pop up where you say, like, I don't know, the fourth Wednesday of every month, I'll cook off a few briskets and pre-sell them, like orders taken, meet me
Yep.
wherever and pick them up, that kind of thing. But
Something to throw out, Tom, with the style of cookers you have. I could see that you would even could do like a private chef type classes
Yep.
with a small
Yeah.
group, 4 to 6 people, and do just full meals, not just baby back rib, barbecue rib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do just some really nice classes and teach people the backyard experience. And I could absolutely see you doing something like that.
You have the personality for it, man.
Absolutely.
Check out my Instagram page and you see what I
I do.
cook. And it's the variety of stuff too. It's
Yeah.
not just the pork, ribs, butts, and brisket kind of stuff.
And you could do them little small classes. And what you do is you actually stage them about 30 to 45 days before the holiday. And
Yeah.
like right now, I mean, you would be doing stuff for Easter, and then in April, you'd be doing Memorial Day products, parties for that. And then through June, you could be doing the 4th of July. What would make a hot dog and a hamburger different? But a Juicy Lucy. What? People wouldn't understand it, but just make it unique and different. Smoke a meatloaf and then make grill a hamburger patty out of that smoked meatloaf.
That sounds delicious.
So many things that I feel that you could upscale a backyard to. Yeah, I absolutely think that'd be a fun, and it definitely keep you busy trying to write a menu too.
Yep.
You
Yeah. So I'm putting on a class at the local brewery down here, and we're just doing. We're gonna do. Everybody's gonna cook a rack of ribs. We're limiting it to 20 people. Everybody's gonna cook a rack of ribs. I'm gonna have ribs going so they can see how to wrap and all that stuff. We're doing tri-tip tacos. We're gonna smoke some cream cheese, and then I'm doing the barbecue oyster crackers for snacks. And that's the kind of stuff where for $75, you're getting that. David's sending me some stuff. We're gonna use some they're getting a goodie bag. It's things like that where we're most people don't think about it. Smoke, like he said, smoked meatloaf. It sounds simple, right? You could sell a class for 10 of that and you'd probably fill it up because people see what you're making and see the things you're doing, and they want to see a different way of doing it, because anybody can watch videos, but to come and see you in person is completely different.
And be interactive to it. Yeah.
Pick menu items that you could do multiple flavors. Like, let's just say, stick with meatloaf. It doesn't take. Get you those 2-pound loaf pans.
Yeah.
Or the 1-pound loaf pans, and make 4 different recipes, and they all get to try so many different flavors of stuff. Do the ones with the eggs in the middle. Do one with actual whole jalapenos, and then take the meatloaf and put it in that, and then it's still a smoked meatloaf, but now it's kind of like a popper, but it's not cheese; it's meatloaf.
Yep.
So when you do your class, how long are the classes generally?
How long are they?
Yeah.
So this one I said it's going to be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. But that's because we're going to do ribs. We're cooking. I'm taking them through the whole process. So their ribs are already going to be trimmed, but I'm going to have 2 racks of what you call it, spares. I'm going to trim and I'm going to call someone from the class to come up with me and be hands on, and we're going to show them how to trim off. And obviously, because you can save money if you start learning how to trim stuff, you can save a lot of money off that, And then we're going to cook the ribs. And so if I was doing, say, a chicken wing class, and who knows, you could do chicken wings and like tri-tip or whatever it might be, or a meatloaf. You could probably cut that down to a 3-hour class or 4-hour class, things like that. So it really depends on what you're doing. I need enough time to be able to cook 20 racks of ribs we're going to be doing, but it's at a brewery, so like there's beer there, like that's kind of the whole lure of it, and we're doing it in their barrel room, so we're surrounded by walls of bourbon barrels that are filled with stuff, so that even the atmosphere of where I'm doing it is going to be kind of cool, like if there's a local brewery, anything around you or something like that, or American Legion, you can go in there and talk to them, and that's kind of a nice place if you want a bigger class. Or like David said, you could go to someone's house and do an afternoon and things like that,
And I love the private party thing. It can be a Father's Day gift. It can be a one-on-one deal. A block party. Cook for a block party. I know that's a full catering event, but it's still catering. And then making an event with, let's say if it's 4 people in this cul-de-sac, make an event with them. Hey, let's all kind of get together Saturday. We're going to serve at between 5 and 7 tonight's going to be the opening, but everyone, all the guys come on out. Let's get started. Let's do this. You can. It's. I guess it's all how you want to sell it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. I love that kind of hands-on thing that you're doing, where you get guys, like, hey, come on over, help me do this. Get it. You make them feel like they're a part of it. That's
Here in my warehouse here, we've I guess we've been at this location 5 years now, and finally 4 months ago we finally got our water. Yeah, it's rough. We have to tank water in and tank water out. And
really,
we're finally now set up, and I'm going to start doing some Saturday classes here at the warehouse. Roll up the big garage doors and run extension cords, and if people want to bring their pits, great. If not, we'll sit here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start doing a rib class or a chicken class, and I just think that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
And and another idea too, like when you get older like us, people are still getting married, so that's kind of the thing. I'm starting to dip into bachelor parties, because like most
that's
people,
really cool. But I got to step away for a second.
All right,
Sure,
because obviously you're getting your 40s and 50s, you're not going out drinking all night and going to strip clubs and stuff like that. So you could you could offer things to
that's
guys
a
in
good
50s.
call right there. I like that. Yeah, that's
I actually like that a lot. Like, guys get together, have some beer and bourbon kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, especially around here, I think I'm thinking out loud. I don't think there's any more strip clubs. I think it's a thing of the past.
Yeah.
That's gone in the 80s and 90s. So
we got some around here.
There's some in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
I was in Texas.
You still have the bachelor parties where they hire them.
Yeah.
Well, this would be I like that.
That's a lot of food for thought. Yeah. I mean, I was talking to a local guy. He's at our local farmer's market. And he's funny because he's like, "You want some barbecue?" I said, "No, I want to buy your place." And he just laughed hysterically. And I said, "No, I'm serious. I'm thinking about starting something like this." Now he had a truck, he had a trailer, he was pretty sophisticated, and he goes, he worked in a local school area, and I guess he got downsized or he retired or something. He got separated, and he just went out and he bought a couple of pit boss barrels.
Yeah.
And he threw them in the back of his pickup truck, and he just started cooking. That's all there was to it.
That was Grant. I was talking about the Saturday get-togethers here. He said sign him up.
Oh, that sounds like a hoot.
It doesn't take $100,000 to do what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I've been working with a gentleman out of California for 3.5, 4 months, and he's cooking on Pit Boss's, that upright cabinet smoker.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
3 briskets in it, maybe 4.
Wow.
And he's opening, and that's what he's cooking with. Just kind of teaching him how to cook with that and do briskets and all that. So, yeah, people are opening up stuff all over without the $50,000 smokers and the $60,000 trailers, and
Yeah.
doing it on a shoestring budget and making it. That's right. Yeah. Oh, he's answered. No induction at all in my design. Okay, now I'm intriguing about this. So the Q and the A is great. Hope you do more in the future. Get a feeling better, David. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been under the weather a lot this week, but then I appreciate you even telling us about your smoker. Maybe we can pick your brain sometime and have you on and educate us on how you opened up your place. But best of luck in opening it, Kevin. I hope you have as much business as you can imagine. And if you're down there in Okmulgee, which I probably go through Okmulgee, maybe twice a year. So I may try and look your place up and get it, and stop in and grab a bite. So Kevin, thanks for joining in. We appreciate you being on the live feed here.
It might be interesting for 2025 is if we do a Butcher's Day down there, bring in ambassadors and kind of have a down to the shop down there, bring in people and have us demos and all kinds of stuff, man.
I have absolutely been trying to find a way to just bring everyone in here to Oklahoma City and just do flat out. I'll do my part of a class, and if anybody wants to join in and do a class, and just educate you guys on how I cook and how I use my product. And all right, take it home, do what you want with it. The problem I have where I live, the hotels, it's a 40-minute drive to get to any place to sleep. Yeah, they're just where I'm at here in Wellston, which is where I grew up right here. I mean, seriously, Wellston's 1,500 people. And we can get on Turner Turnpike, and it's 35 minutes to get to Oklahoma City. We're an hour from Tulsa, and there's no hotels, not anywhere close.
I got the back of my 4Runner, so I'm good. Yeah. But no, kind of what I was suggesting, like that's cool too. But like basically, where you have something open to the public, like do an event where you bring in ambassadors and you have it open to the public, and we're cooking chicken wings, and they can come out and ask questions and do all like kind of like an interactive with.
Look at the chat group. Somebody already said they'll bring a tent to that event.
Yeah. That would be fun. I agree.
Yeah, let's volunteer Steve Ray's shop down in Ottawa.
Yes. Last year when I was down there and everything, that is a cool shop. If you've never been there,
that's a bucket list item, believe it or not.
Yes.
Like head down towards Memphis and stop by Steve's place.
Yes.
I would do that.
Yeah. You go over towards Nashville and go south.
Yeah.
I like that the bachelor party idea that you had. I'm retired from doing bachelor parties.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about a while ago. Is that's the sell to it. Is that guys 45 to 55 years old, they don't care about any of that running around.
Yep.
No.
No, but well, take it one step further. You have guys who go on golf trips, right?
Yep.
And they get Airbnbs,
Yep.
and
I
You
dude.
want somebody to cook.
that's the
Yeah.
adult bachelor party.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. And up here, like for me, there's Alpine Valley, which is a huge music place. So there's Airbnbs around here. So I was already talking to my buddy who lives up there. I'm like, dude, do your house as an Airbnb. You can add me in as an extra charge because people are gonna be hung over. I said I'll show up, cook them breakfast. You know, I'll cook them breakfast, cook them lunch. Or whatever.
I was listening to this. I
Yeah,
love
I'm
it.
taking notes, right?
This is a great.
Yeah.
You're right.
When are we doing it?
That's right on.
There's a guy down here, right? Again, I live on the Jersey Shore. Now, Seaside, we all know Jersey Shore, Seaside. There's a guy in Point Pleasant, which is the next town over. What he did is he opened up a shop. I thought he would make it. It's by order only. You have to order. I think he has a cutoff. You have to order it by maybe Wednesday or Thursday for the weekend. And he makes you these clam bakes in a can. And you pick them up on the weekend, and people either put them on the stovetop or they put them on the barbecue grill. And because it's the seaside, the barrier island, they're all summer rentals, and people just take the cans and stick them on the grill, and they have a home cooked meal. So it's great when to have home instead of running out. And he custom makes it. Do you want lobster or clams or this or that?
But he
So
didn't make.
what was that, Dave?
You said he didn't make it.
Oh yeah, he made it. He's still in business. I was waiting to see if he closed up over the winter because the businesses are closed during the winter. You have to make enough in those 4 months to carry it for the winter months and rent it all. And he's still open. He's not doing clam bakes, but the shop didn't close up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So something like that, like a carry out kind of thing. I was thinking.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, you can do a lot of vacuum seal stuff, where you can make pork, vacuum seal and freeze it and give them reheating. They can throw it in some water, like almost like a sous vide, dude. 20 minutes later. I mean, you can do that at your house if you have leftovers from, where a lot of people throw leftovers away and stuff like that. You can take any of that stuff and, put it in a Ziploc bag. I mean, you can make an omelet in, boiling water in a bag. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways to
just stick it in an empanada. People think it's a gourmet meal.
Yeah. And that's the things that you put on your side notes in a class, in a little pamphlet handout, in that how to use retherm. That's the trick word. How to retherm leftovers and taste like it's fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Tom, I think we got you hooked up.
I will definitely keep you posted.
I love.
I like the classes idea though. You go out, sell the class to like 10 people, go to like a VFW hall, set up a couple of grills,
Yeah.
And
there's so much possibility.
Oh yeah, man. You show them everything. You fire management and all that. Like I'm already thinking about doing a class with chicken wings and egg rolls. And like I've done like pulled pork coleslaw egg rolls. I've done pecan pie egg rolls. The jalapeno popper egg rolls. I mean, there's a million different things you can do that are simple, but people, I wouldn't say don't think about, but like, guys like me, that's all I think about is cooking and food and ideas and reading all day, so like that's, I'm a hustler, man. I mean, that's if I'm not hustling, I don't know. Like I said, I get bored, man. So like to me, I'll look at 2 or 3 recipes and figure out I could take one from this and something from this. I mean, you could do egg rolls with stuffing, turkey, and mashed potatoes with a little gravy in there over the top, and have a whole Thanksgiving dinner, right? In an egg roll, So,
what I do to like when I have a barbecue with like 20, 30 people or whatever have you, to kind of whet everybody's appetite for the smoke flavor. Smoked Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stupid little thing. It's the stupidest thing. And like when they come off the smoker, you throw them out on a table, they go and like that, and all of a sudden everybody's way into like that flavor, that kind of like this is gonna be a lot of fun. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Do you have any of David's private seasoning on hand?
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
So if you do that, go and get some just oyster crackers, little olive oil, throw that seasoning in there, mix it in a bowl, and you can smoke those or you can bake them, dude. Out of this world, man.
That is what this chat is all about.
Earlier.
That is what this chat is all about. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah.
Before you came on earlier, we were talking about rubs. I said, dude, I take the maple rub, or you can even take the pecan rub, put a little bit in waffle syrup, pancake syrup, sausage. You can change the flavor of any of that kind of stuff.
Oyster crackers. Which rub was that again?
The private. I mean, you can use any of them. But the private season is that's kind of the middle of the road.
Have you made a Bloody Mary yet out of the pecan rub?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't had a Bloody Mary in a long time.
That's what I'm talking about. Yep.
Tom, you don't need to retire. Just you need to do a talk show on what to do when we're tired. All you got to do is pick up and look at the rest of us.
There you go. God bless. God bless. Really.
Well, I'm turning it to you. I got little gray hairs under my beard.
You mentioned Bloody Mary, so I'm going to throw out there my friend Smoking Magic. David, I think you knew Smoking Magic out of Kansas City. They make a killer Bloody Mary mix, and they do sell it. It is. I mean, Bloody Mary mix. Here, you want to go again? Add Bloody Mary mix to tomato soup. Marinate shrimp and Bloody Mary mix. You can do beef stew and add Bloody Mary mix to it. Well, there's a million things you can do with all kinds of that stuff, man. So.
Yeah.
Am I about to take tomorrow off to have some Bloody Marys in the morning? I think
I have a lot of work to do tomorrow, so no, I can't take off and join you.
Well, all right. I'm going to run through these last few comments here real quick. This was Kevin. Oh, when I talked about coming through his place when I'm in Okmulgee. Kevin, you bet I will. Appreciate you answering that. Sugba, he'll sleep for that event. Okay, yeah. I know what he's talking about.
Sugba's one of my good buddies. He's a great dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
I remember when he first come on the show and everything, I was trying to figure out how to pronounce it, and I didn't want to, pardon the pun, butcher it too much, but I think I started getting it right. I think I was saying it's Sugba.
Yeah, I forgot where his wife is from, somewhere over from Asia, and Shugba in her language means barbecue.
Okay, well that makes sense. Good to know.
So that's called Shugba Smokehouse. Yeah.
Well, if we have an event, you're welcome to bring a tent.
Or if not, you come to my house and bring a tent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hotels, Steve shop. That's what he's talking about. That's where I stayed at. That Saturday morning, I got up and walked down to his station right there. Steve, bless his heart. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. We were a half a block, and he's like, "What time you want up? I'll have a car up there to pick you up." Oh, Lance, no, I can walk.
Steve sounds like a true gentleman.
Oh, by every sense of the word, he is.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the one I stayed at. I don't even remember what it was, but we walk in and Steve says, "I've got a room," and he knows the lady with the books, and he knows the lady that was going off hours that headed home, knew them, and I was like, I felt like I was at home just with him in the foyer. Philippines.
Yep. Philippines. There you go.
There you go. Thanks. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all spending some time. Glenn, I'm glad you finally got in to visit with us.
I thought it was 8:00. Was I wrong?
Yes, sir. Yeah. 6:30 Central Time.
You're off by a half hour. You're East Coast, right, Glenn?
Yeah.
So, well, we appreciate it, gentlemen.
David, feel better. Well, hopefully next week you'll be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and get back to the old.
Yeah, well, I've got something I'm sure I know I can come up with. Like I say, I'm always playing here. I'm always dealing and wheeling, and I got 6, 7, 8 new rubs in a week ago before I got sick, and I cooked on them, and then Wilma got sick, and I asked her if it wasn't the flavor of the rubs, and she swore it wasn't. And no, it wasn't. It was the flu.
Well, if you ever want an independent, if you want somebody to check them or taste them, send a little package.
I I've asked for some more samples, so I can send it to all you guys. You know, that's I'm pretty open with you on our Facebook page over there, and
Yep.
I've tried to, yeah, if I get something that I like, and if I'm not just speedballing it trying to get it out, I'll say, okay, send me 5 more pounds of samples of each, and then I'll separate it and give it to you folks. But yeah, we'll see where this is at right now. I'm having one change on one of the rubs. Didn't like the texture of it. Flavor was stupid amazing.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, what do we got to change the texture? But I don't want
Not
that
the flavor. No.
messed with. But yeah, dude, it's gonna be fun. I hope this works out. That's about all I want to really do. Yeah. What's this he's saying? Oh yeah, he must be going up there with you. Yeah.
Yep.
Bring your game for the burger. He has thrown the gauntlet down, buddy. So, well, all right, everyone. We'll just call this the end. Appreciate all the comments and all the questions. Love the roundtable, and we'll get this going again sometime.
All right. Stay well.
Thanks, guys.
Always fun, man, and placing a nice order to get the spring and the summer started. Going to be posting a lot on my social medias to get everybody excited for the the grilling season, and I hope you see the residuals for it.
You bet.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. Have a
All
great.
All right. Have a great night.
See you
Bye-bye.
later, Dave.
Yeah, boys.
Bye.